It is my feeling that you do not understand the consequences of such a decision.
Hello there my RPG lovers and welcome to another video. We have some new information about Serene, the starting area of Greedfall, and I want to analyze it a bit, but I'll also include some personal speculations and we're gonna talk more about the game in general. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe for more RPG content, because that's what I'm all about. The city of Serene is the part of the old continent that's struck by the deadly Malachor plague, and this city will be the starting area of Greedfall. Judging by all the information we have, this city won't be just a simple tutorial for the game that you can just rush through and skip it altogether. Apart from learning the player all he needs to know about the game, we can probably expect some interesting quests, at least one companion, and exploration of course. What we also know for a fact is that once we leave Serene, we can never go back. And I actually mentioned this in one of my previous videos about Greedfall. So I'm guessing that all the choices we make here will also affect how the game progresses further. It probably won't be anything major because it's the beginning of the game, but I remember when they said that every area and character serves a purpose in Greedfall, so every quest and activity you do will contribute to the story. And since Greedfall has put a strong emphasis on the choices we make in the dialogue, we'll probably have at least a couple of serious decisions to make here until we set sail to Terre Fredie. I've got an impression that Serene will be similar to White Orchard from Witcher 3, maybe not comparable in square kilometers, but the things like main and side quests, unique locations and NPCs, etc. Since Greedfall is an RPG, you can probably decide to rush through the main quest and get out of this city as soon as possible for whatever the reason. Knowing myself, I probably won't leave no stone unturned in this city before I decide to continue, especially when I take in consideration that I can't come back here. Well, you actually can, but only if you start a new playthrough. In the newest video about the city of Serene, they mentioned merchants, thieves and ambassadors. While the first two groups require no explanation, I would like to know more about the ambassadors and the factions in general. Oh yeah, we also have these guys, the plague doctors, who are apparently doing a bad job since we have to go on an island far away in search for a cure. Yeah, great job guys, thanks a lot. Let's focus on the map of Serene a bit. We have some footage that could give us an idea of the scale, and from all the footage and the map itself, Serene really looks dense with a lot of stuff going on. Looking at the map while it's zoomed makes me wonder, can we explore the vicinity of the city, because this open terrain is almost the half of the map. But remember, we also have dungeons in the game, and while we know for sure that island of Terre Fredie will have bunch of dungeons, can we also expect to find some here? We also know that we will learn influence as we complete quests, and this works similar to the system in Dragon Age Inquisition. We'll unlock new quests and areas with more influence. So again, this makes me wonder about Serene in particular, and how much time can we spend here exploring and doing all the quests. I really hope that exploration alone is rewarding and that side quests are interesting, but this doesn't worry me that much, since they always use the opportunity to talk about the dialogue and how they focused a lot on the choices and consequences. We can also hear an example about one quest where your cousin gets drunk and locked up in the jail, so you have to rescue him. There are a couple of ways you can choose to approach the quest, and some of them will require you to have certain skills. You can for example sneak in by using a lockpick, or convince the guard to let him go if you have enough charisma, so skill checks confirmed. There's also an option to blow a hole in the wall and get him out, or just simply pay the guards. This all sounds great and it really makes me happy because we have those choices, but what I wanna know, are most of the quests like this or just a few? Sorry, I'm going off topic a bit, but I'm actually asking the right questions here, man, roll with it. Since we know that Greedfall is not an open world game, it's interesting to see how much will this affect the exploration of Serene and Terre Fredie. Some people went crazy when they heard this, but I actually think this will only help the game. If you followed me for a while, you probably know that I love open worlds, but I have to remind you that spiders are not a huge studio, and this decision can only help Greedfall to deliver more focused but still not linear experience. We could see a bunch of times that areas are really open and big, but not every area of the island is unlocked right away. Like I said, you'll need the influence to unlock some areas, and that's probably the reason why they don't want to label this game as open world. I'm getting the impression when some people hear not open world, they immediately think of some narrow hallway and you only hold forward to progress or something. But then again, I bet those same people are calling most of these open world games empty. I hate people, man. I don't know. I'm really eager to see more information about the locations in Greedfall, but at the same time I don't want them to show us a lot and ruin the experience. The last thing I'm gonna talk about here is what happens when you end the prologue at Serene. It can be considered as a spoiler, but it has been all over these videos about the game. We get to fight this Slash-and looking thing on steroids before we set sail to Terra 3D. I'm guessing this will also be a nice test for your build and the style that you choose to roll with. I'm already seeing myself rushing toward this thing with a two-handed sword. Anyway, Greedfall releases in September, and if you're interested in this game, be sure to subscribe because I plan to cover it in depth with guides and tips. I'm all about RPG stuff, I do news, discussions and reviews. Special thanks to my patrons for supporting the channel in the long run, and if you as well want to become one, I'll leave the link in the description. See ya in the next one.